Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market, and today guys we have to mention several stories. We will go from Manchester United, the updates overnight and more to say about that, and then something on Raphinha, something on Aston Villa, more moving in the market. Let's jump into it together. And here we are guys, movements every minute, movements every hour, movements every day here on the channel on YouTube. You will find absolutely everything. Remember to subscribe, to turn on the notification bell, so every day you will have all the stories, all the updates. And today guys, I wanted to start when I finished, because the video overnight was an important update for Manchester United fans about the interim manager for the immediate decision of the club. Well, these negotiations are continuing today while I'm recording this video, proceeding quite well, and so Michael Carrick seen as the clear favorite to become new caretaker manager at Manchester United. So he's the clear favorite, he's very keen on the role, and the expectation is for Manchester United to complete everything very soon. So Man United advancing fast to have Michael Carrick as their new head coach. The conversation is proceeding. Obviously, there is the Manchester derby this week, and Man United want to make sure everything is in place for the Manchester derby. Darren Fletcher is completely out of the race after the defeat against Brighton. Man United were not happy with the performance, with the attitude, respecting the job of Darren Fletcher. At the end of the day, Fletcher can't change everything in a few days, so it's not Fletcher's responsibility. But at the same time, he probably had a chance to prove his skills in order to stay at Manchester United until the end of the season as caretaker manager, but then that game killed the hopes for Darren Fletcher. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made himself available, and he's still hoping till the very end, but Michael Carrick is the man that now is leading the race to become the new manager of Manchester United until the end of the season. So conversations continuing today. A meeting took place in the last days, also a very positive one. A contact took place overnight. I did a video with all the details here on the channel, so you can find absolutely everything on that story. But now proceeding to the final stages, and so Michael Carrick seen as clear favorite for this opportunity. On Manchester United, guys, one of the names you probably remember from the summer transfer window, it was the final hours actually of the summer transfer window on deadline day, was Conor Gallagher. Yes, because Manchester United in the final 24 hours of the summer transfer window, so at the beginning of September, asked Atletico Madrid for Conor Gallagher on loan. The answer from Atletico Madrid was no, but then in January I told you keep an eye on Conor Gallagher because Gallagher could be one of the faces of this January transfer window. Well, today, so now, Manchester United are not pushing on this deal because Man United have freezed their market while they decide on the interim manager, with Carrick now as a favorite. But you can imagine, they had a plan with Ruben Amorim, then Amorim being fired, and now Manchester United changing their plans. And obviously, before you have a permanent manager in charge, that is going to happen in the summer, obviously it's different, the intention from the club on the market. So, the club now pushing for Conor Gallagher, from what I'm told, is Aston Villa. Aston Villa are trying to make a deal happen. Aston Villa actually have a deal in place with Atletico Madrid. There is a club-to-club agreement, loan with buy option that might become an obligation to buy under certain conditions. So, Atletico have given the green light to Aston Villa. The club-to-club agreement is done. What now has to happen is the agreement, player-club. Don't forget that Aston Villa always wanted Conor Gallagher. Unai Emery has always been a big fan of the player. If some of you remember, when Chelsea were negotiating for John Duran as a striker, it was, years ago, not now. At that time, Villa wanted to include Conor Gallagher in the deal. It was not possible to proceed, but already at that time, Villa wanted Conor Gallagher. He's always been a player appreciated by Unai Emery. And now, Villa are trying again, trying to reach an agreement on personal terms and to get Conor Gallagher. So, conversation underway. Let's see if Villa will make that happen, but for sure is a story to follow in this January transfer window for a very interesting midfielder like Conor Gallagher. On Aston Villa, keep an eye on strikers as well, because today Aston Villa announced Brian Madjo, this exclusive story I gave you for this boy who turns 17 today. Happy birthday to Brian Madjo, striker from Metz, who will be paid 12 million euros package. So a big investment by Aston Villa on a boy born in 2009, having the opportunity to play for Aston Villa in Premier League, investing important money. But it's not over, because Villa also are in talks for Tammy Abraham. Abraham is a target for Aston Villa, is a player they like. And eventually, Malen could leave. So Malen could be on his way out of Aston Villa in this January window. There were some calls from several clubs, but Roma have now a verbal agreement almost done with Aston Villa. Loan with buy option. Roma are negotiating with the player. Let's see what Malen decides to do. But for sure, there is a lot of movement around Malen. He could be on his way out of Aston Villa. Let's see if some other club jumps into the race. But for sure, Malen could be on his way out. And Villa are considering Tammy Abraham or eventual replacements, because the strikers market is starting to move. So keep close eye to the situation of Tammy Abraham and Malen while Villa negotiate for Conor Gallagher. And then, guys, I wanted to mention another story from England to Brazil. Lucas Paquetá. Because Lucas Paquetá was about to become a new Aston Villa player in the final days of the summer transfer window. The deal was almost done for Paquetá to Aston Villa. Then the stories shared made the deal collapse. And West Ham decided to keep the player at the club. Now, Paquetá has an agreement in principle with Flamengo. Flamengo have agreed terms with Lucas Paquetá. So the contract is done. The contract is ready. Paquetá wants to go back to Brazil. It's a World Cup season, and he wants to get there and get to the World Cup in the best conditions possible. Now, depends on the clubs, because West Ham still hope to keep the player, but Flamengo will try. Will try hard and will try to put important money on the table to sign Lucas Paquetá. Negotiations ongoing, club to club, agreement done with the player, and let's follow this Paquetá story, because it could be a huge move in this January transfer window for Flamengo and West Ham involved in this case. And just to finish in Brazil, guys, I wanted to mention Raphinha, because Raphinha is doing fantastic for Barcelona. 2 goals, man of the match in the Super Cup final against Real Madrid. All the Ballon d'Or story we are getting since September, because obviously Raphinha was 5th in the Ballon d'Or, and obviously there was a lot of stories about that, but Raphinha is still delivering on the pitch. Raphinha, let me clarify this, never had any private or verbal or signed agreement with Barcelona to have a guaranteed exit to Saudi in 2026. That story is absolutely fake. Raphinha has not pre-agreed anything with any Saudi club. Raphinha is very happy at Barcelona. Raphinha is fully focused on Barcelona. Raphinha is not discussing anything with any other club. So full focus on Barcelona. Then, if you ask me, from Saudi they want Raphinha. Who doesn't want Raphinha? One of the best players in the world in this moment. But nothing has been pre-agreed. That's a complete fake news. And the full focus of Raphinha is clear. Win trophies at Barcelona. And so, guys, let me hear your thoughts on all these stories. Man United and Carrick, what's your feeling on that one? And then Raphinha, but also Lucas Paquetá, and then Tammy Abraham, Malen, Conor Gallagher. Your feeling, guys. Hit in comments, like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.